Welcome to Sci-Fi Space. Before we starting today's wonderful story, take a second to check if you've subscribed. Because it's completely free and it is a huge motivation for us to create more great stories. Marcus Holt slammed his fist on the control panel, the sharp clang echoing through the lab. Another failure. A complete, humiliating disaster, he barked, his voice thick with frustration. Around him, his research team flinched, their eyes darting between their leader and the twitching figure on the floor, a Zilarian warrior, their latest test subject. The alien's 7-foot frame convulsed, emitting a grating noise like a busted engine choking on its last fumes. Above them loomed the object of their torment, a towering suit of ancient armor, nearly 10 feet tall, its surface gleaming as if mocking their efforts. "Lock it, Lena," Marcus snapped, turning to his assistant. Lena Sparks, her 4 eyes blinking out of sync, a tic she couldn't hide when she was fighting a laugh, swiped her data tablet. Test 2849, Zilarian species, elite combat class. Rejected in 5.8 seconds. Symptoms: neural spasms, spatial disorientation, and, unexpected levitation. She paused as the Zilarian began drifting upward, his armored limbs flailing slowly before smacking into the anti-gravity netting strung across the ceiling. Marcus didn't even glance up. He'd seen it all before. For 3.5 years, he'd led the Ancient Artifacts Division aboard Nimbus 7, a derelict space station floating in the Orion Spur. His mission: unlock the secrets of this armor, dug up from an icy asteroid on the galaxy's edge. Initial scans pegged it at 60,000 years old, predating every known spacefaring race. Its material defied classification, too resilient to be metal, too complex to be anything else. And it hated them. Every species they'd thrown at it had been rejected, often in ways that left the team scrambling to clean up the mess. "Should we get him down?" Lena asked, her tone more curious than concerned. "Let him float," Marcus growled, jabbing at his own tablet. "It'll wear off in a couple minutes. Prep the next volunteer." His words were confident, but inside, he was unraveling. 15 years as a top researcher, and now his career hung by a thread. The Intergalactic Science Council had issued an ultimatum yesterday: crack the armor's code in 30 days, or they'd pull funding. No funding meant no project. No project meant Marcus Holt, once a respected name, would be a galactic laughingstock. The lab buzzed with tension. Technicians recalibrated sensors, junior researchers whispered about the growing list of failures, and the armor stood there, silent and smug. Marcus scrolled through the latest report: 2,849 attempts, 2,849 rejections. A Clydian diplomat turned plaid last month. A Vorian mystic spouting equations for hours the week before. Yesterday, a Grixon physicist had flickered into a probability cloud, simultaneously reliving every awkward moment of his life. Each rejection was more creative, more absurd, and Marcus was running out of patience and excuses. Outside the lab, Chen pushed a tool cart down a dimly lit corridor. A low-level maintenance tech, he'd spent 2 years patching up Nimbus 7's crumbling systems. The station was a relic, abandoned decades ago, now repurposed for Marcus's project. Alex didn't care about the science stuff. He fixed vents, tweaked power grids, and went home, or whatever passed for home in a bunk pod. Today, though, the shouting from the lab caught his ear. He slowed, peering through the reinforced glass door, catching sight of the floating Zilarian and Marcus's red face. Back inside, Marcus paced. "We're missing something," he muttered, more to himself than the team. 3 years, and it's still a brick wall. Lena stepped forward, cautious but firm. "Maybe we're approaching it wrong. Throwing every species at it isn't working. What if it's not about strength or prestige?" Marcus whirled on her. "You think I haven't considered that? The council doesn't want theories, they want results." His voice rose, sharp enough to make a junior tech drop his scanner. Lena didn't back down. "And we've got nothing to show for it. Maybe it's time to rethink," Marcus cut her off. "Rethink? You're questioning my methods now? After all I've done to keep this project alive. The argument escalated fast. Lena accused him of stubbornness. Marcus fired back about her lack of respect. The team watched, uneasy, as their leaders tore into each other. It wasn't the first time, but the stakes felt higher now, with the council's deadline looming. That's when the door slid open. Alex Chen stepped in, grease-stained coveralls and all, a wrench in one hand. "Hey, sorry to interrupt," he said, casual as if he'd wandered into a break room. "Need to check the vent system in here. It's been rattling all week." Marcus spun around, eyes blazing. "Who the hell are you? This is a restricted zone. Get out." Alex raised an eyebrow, unfazed. "Just doing my job, man. Won't take long." Before he could turn, a low hum filled the room. The armor's surface flickered, something it hadn't done in months. Tiny patterns danced across its plating, faint but undeniable. Lena's tablet beeped, registering a spike in energy output. "What's happening?" she whispered, stepping closer to the controls. Marcus froze, his anger shifting to confusion. Did you do something?" he demanded, pointing at Alex. "Nope," Alex replied, glancing at the armor. "Cool statue, though. Looks like something from those old Earth games my grandma played." The hum grew louder, the patterns brighter. Marcus's jaw tightened. "Get him out of here," he ordered, but Lena grabbed his arm. "Wait. Look at it. It's reacting to him." The team stared, half expecting the armor to zap Alex into a puddle. Instead, it pulsed, almost like it was curious. Marcus's mind raced. This couldn't be right. A maintenance grunt triggering the artifact they'd spent years failing to crack? Impossible. Yet the data didn't lie. Lena's four eyes narrowed. "He might be the key," she said, voice low. Marcus scoffed. "Him? He's nobody." But doubt gnawed at him. The council's clock was ticking, 29 days left, and they were drowning in failures. If this kid was the answer, it'd be the ultimate humiliation. Still, he couldn't ignore the armor's response. "Fine," he growled. "Stick around, maintenance boy. But don't touch anything unless I say so." Alex shrugged, setting his wrench down. "Whatever you say, boss." The hum softened, but the patterns kept shifting, taunting them. Marcus glared at the armor, then at Alex. 3 years of work, and it came down to this? He'd be damned if he let some nobody steal his breakthrough. But deep down, he knew something big was about to break loose, whether he liked it or not. The lab on Nimbus 7 was a pressure cooker ready to blow. Marcus Holt stood by the control panel, his face tight with fury, while Lena Sparks faced him down, her four eyes blinking fast, a dead giveaway she was pissed but holding it together. The armor loomed in the center, its surface still flickering faintly from Alex Chen's entrance minutes ago. The rest of the team hovered around, pretending to work but sneaking glances at the brewing fight. The air crackled with tension, thicker than it'd been in months. "We're wasting time," Lena said, her voice sharp but steady. 3 years of the same approach, and what do we have? Nothing. Maybe it's not about shoving every alien species we can find into that thing. She jabbed a finger toward the armor, which pulsed like it was listening. Marcus's head snapped up, his eyes narrowing. "Oh, so now you're the expert? You think you've got it all figured out after I've kept this project alive through every screw-up?" His tone was venomous, dripping with years of pent-up frustration. Lena didn't flinch. "I'm saying you're too stubborn to see we're stuck. The council's breathing down our necks, and you're just doubling down on a dead end." Marcus stepped closer, towering over her. "Watch it, Lena. I've been running this show since you were still calibrating scanners. You don't get to question me now." The team froze, some cringed, others looked ready to bolt. This wasn't new. Marcus and Lena had clashed before, but with a deadline looming, it felt like a breaking point. You're blind, Marcus, Lena shot back. That armor's been laughing at us, literally, and you won't even consider we might be missing the point. She pointed at Alex, who leaned against his tool cart by the door, watching the drama unfold like it was a lunchtime soap opera. He walks in, and it lights up. That's not a coincidence. Marcus's laugh was harsh, almost a bark. Him? The janitor? You're delusional if you think some nobody's the answer. Alex raised an eyebrow but didn't budge. Maintenance tech, actually, he said, casual as ever. Not here to mess up your day, just fixing the vents. His chill vibe only made Marcus madder. Shut it, Marcus snapped, turning back to Lena. We've tested ambassadors, warriors, geniuses, hundreds of species. You really think this guy's special because he's got a wrench? The argument hit fever pitch. Lena's voice rose. We've tested everything except common sense. Maybe it's not about prestige or power, maybe it's something simpler. Marcus cut her off, practically yelling now. Simpler? You want to hand our project to a grunt because the armor blinked? That's not science, that's desperation. Lena threw her hands up. And what you're doing isn't. Look at the data, it reacted to him. The team split down the middle. A couple junior techs nodded at Lena, muttering about the energy spikes. Others backed Marcus, loyal to his iron grip on the project. The room buzzed with side arguments, half-whispered bets on who'd win this round. Meanwhile, the armor's hum grew louder, its patterns swirling faster, like it was egging them on. Alex scratched his head, glancing at it. You guys always this loud, or is it just a bad day? Marcus whirled on him. I said shut up. You don't belong here, this is a restricted zone. Alex shrugged. Fine, I'll go. But your vent's still rattling, and it's gonna bug you later. He started for the door, but Lena grabbed his arm. No, stay. We need to figure this out. Marcus's face went red. You don't give orders here, Lena. She glared back. Someone has to, since you're too busy yelling to think straight. That's when the armor kicked up a notch. The hum turned into a low, rhythmic thrum, and its surface flared bright enough to make everyone squint. Tablets across the room beeped, energy readings off the charts. What the hell, a tech muttered, fumbling with his scanner. Lena shoved her tablet at Marcus. See? It's doing it again, only when he's close. Marcus snatched it, scrolling through the numbers. His jaw clenched. The data didn't lie, Alex's presence was triggering something big. Coincidence, he growled, tossing the tablet back. We're not changing course for some fluke. But his voice wavered, just enough for Lena to catch it. You're scared, she said, quieter now. Scared he might actually be it, and you've missed it all this time. Marcus's fists balled up. Don't push me, Lena. I'm warning you. The threat hung there, heavy and ugly. Alex, still by the cart, cleared his throat. Look, I don't care who's right. But if that thing's gonna keep buzzing, I'd rather fix it than listen to it all shift. He took a step toward the armor, and the room went dead silent. The thrum deepened, the patterns spinning into shapes, almost like a smile. Marcus lunged forward. Don't you dare touch it. But Lena blocked him. Let him. We've got nothing to lose. Marcus shoved past her, but it was too late. Alex was already within arm's reach. The armor's light flared, bathing him in a glow that made the team shield their eyes. Whoa, Alex said, unfazed. Pretty cool trick. Bet it's eating up your power grid, though, you should check that. The glow pulsed, and a faint chuckle seemed to ripple from the armor itself, though no one could swear it was real. Marcus stared, his anger crumbling into something else, doubt, maybe fear. Get him away from it, he ordered, but his voice lacked punch. Lena crossed her arms. Too late for that. He's in this now, whether you like it or not. The team watched, half stunned, half curious, as Alex stood there, the armor practically purring at him. A junior tech whispered, "Is it, happy?" "Ridiculous," Marcus muttered, but he couldn't look away. 3 years of failures, thousands of tests, and now this, a random maintenance guy waltzing in and flipping the script. Lena smirked. "Told you we were missing something." Marcus shot her a glare that could have melted steel, but he didn't argue. "Not yet." Alex glanced back at them, oblivious to the storm he'd kicked up. "So, we doing this, or what?" "'Cause I've got a shift to finish." The armor pulsed again, and Marcus felt a cold certainty settle in his gut. Whatever happened next, it was out of his hands. And that scared him more than any deadline ever could. The lab on Nimbus 7 was a mess of frayed nerves and flickering lights by the time night rolled around. Marcus Holt slumped over his console, rubbing his temples, while Lena Sparks hovered near the armor, her tablet buzzing with new data. Alex Chen stood a few feet away, still in his greasy coveralls, watching the glowing suit like it was a busted appliance he could tinker with. The rest of the team milled around, throwing nervous glances between their leaders and the artifact that had just turned their world upside down. A hologram flickered to life above the central table. Chen Jasper Reed, the linguistics head, appeared, his face lit with cautious excitement. "We've cracked another chunk of the armor's markings," he said, his voice crackling through the static. "It's patchy, but there's a clear reference to the chosen from Earth. Could mean a place, a species hard to pin down yet." Marcus snorted, not even looking up. "Earth? That backwater dump? It's been a ruin since before anyone out here cared." "Sounds like nonsense." Lena jumped on it, her 4 eyes narrowing. "Not nonsense. Earth's where humans come from, and Alex is human. It's lining up, Marcus." She waved her tablet at him, the screen flashing with the armor's energy spikes all tied to Alex's proximity. Marcus shoved his chair back, standing fast. "You're reaching, Lena. We're not betting 3 years of work on some fairy tale about a dead planet and a maintenance guy." Jasper's hologram flickered as he chimed in. "The text's incomplete, but it's specific. Chosen from Earth isn't random, it's a condition. I'd say it's worth a look." Marcus cut the feed with a swipe, his face twisting. "Worth a look? We've got 28 days left, and you want me to chase ghost stories?" Lena stepped closer, her voice low and fierce. "What's your plan, then?" "Keep throwing bodies at it till we're out of volunteers." That lit the fuse. Marcus rounded on her. "My plans kept us funded, Lena. Yours is a hunch based on a janitor tripping over the damn thing." Alex cleared his throat from the sidelines. "Maintenance tech, not janitor. Just saying." Marcus ignored him, jabbing a finger at Lena. "You're undermining me, and I'm sick of it. We stick to the protocol, real candidates, not this clown." Lena's patience snapped. "Protocol? Your protocol's a joke. We've got a Clydean screaming poetry out there, a Vorian who's still a cloud half the time, and you think more of that's the answer." Her voice echoed, and the team flinched. Marcus's eyes blazed. "You don't get it, do you? I'm the one answering to the council, not you. Step out of line again, and you're off this project." The threat landed like a punch, but Lena didn't blink. "Fine. Kick me out. But you're blind if you can't see what's right in front of you." She nodded at Alex, who edged closer to the armor, drawn by its steady hum. The suit's surface rippled, patterns swirling faster, like it was waking up. Marcus caught it too, and his stomach twisted. He wouldn't admit it, but the data was piling up. Alex was no fluke. "Let's test real candidates," Marcus barked, turning to the team. "Get me a Clydean warrior and a Vorian diplomat, now." Lena threw her hands up. "You're insane. We just watched those species tank. What's the point?" Marcus glared. "The point is control. We don't pivot to some nobody because the armor glitches." He stormed to the comms, barking orders for volunteers, his voice tight with desperation. The tests were a disaster. The Clydian, a hulking brute with spiked armor, stepped up first. The suit flared, and within seconds, he was on his knees, yelling gibberish some ancient ballad about lost moons. The team scrambled to sedate him as he clawed at the air. Next came the Vorian, all pomp and elegance. The armor zapped him into a shimmering cloud, his voice echoing from 3 spots at once, whining about diplomatic protocol. 5 minutes later, he reformed, shaking and swearing off the project for good. Lena watched the chaos, arms crossed. "Happy now," she said, her tone dripping acid. Marcus didn't answer, his face pale as he stared at the wreckage. The armor stood untouched, its hum mocking them. "This is on you," Lena pressed. "You're running us into the ground." Marcus spun on her, voice low and dangerous. "Keep pushing, Lena, and you'll regret it. I'm still in charge here." Alex, who'd been quiet through the meltdown, finally spoke up. "You guys are loud as hell. Ever think this thing's just screwing with you?" He nodded at the armor, its light pulsing like a heartbeat. Marcus whirled on him. "You don't talk unless I say so, got it?" Alex shrugged. "Sure, whatever. But it's been buzzing since I got here. Maybe it likes me." That did it. Something snapped in Marcus. "Likes you? You're a nobody. You don't belong near this." He lunged toward Alex, but Lena blocked him. "Back off, Marcus. He's right, it's reacting. Look at it." The armor's glow intensified, bathing the room in a sharp, golden light. The team froze, tablets beeping like crazy readings off the charts again. Alex didn't wait for permission. He stepped closer, drawn by the hum, his curiosity outweighing the drama. "Hey, cool it down, hey," he muttered, half to himself. The armor responded, its surface erupted in a cascade of light, patterns racing like liquid fire. Marcus shouted, "Stop him," but it was too late. The glow swallowed Alex, and the room went dead quiet, every eye locked on him. Neat," Alex said, squinting through the glare. "Bet this is hell on your power grid, though." The light pulsed, and a low rumble rolled from the armor, almost like a laugh. Lena's jaw dropped. "Marcus, you seeing this?" His hands shook as he gripped his tablet, numbers screaming the truth. Alex was triggering something they'd never seen. Marcus's voice cracked. "Get him away from it. Now." But no one moved. The team was split, half stunned, half buzzing with excitement. Lena smirked, crossing her arms. "Too late, boss. He's in it now." Marcus stared at Alex, fury and fear warring in his chest. 3 years of control, slipping through his fingers because of this kid. He wanted to scream, to shut it all down, but the armor's hum drowned out his thoughts, taunting him. Alex glanced back, oblivious to the storm he'd kicked up. "So, what's the deal? We testing this or what? 'Cause I've got vents to fix." The armor flared again, and Marcus felt his world tilt. Whatever this was, it wasn't his show anymore. Lena leaned in, whispering, "Told you we were missing something." Marcus didn't reply, he couldn't. The mystery was unraveling, and it was tearing his team apart. Worse, it was proving him wrong, one agonizing pulse at a time. The lab on Nimbus 7 was still reeling from Alex Chen's stunt with the armor when the alarms blared. Red lights flashed, and a robotic voice cut through the chaos, warning unknown vessels approaching. "Hull breach detected, levels 3 and 5. Armed intruders confirmed." Marcus Holt jolted upright, his face draining of color. "What the hell?" he barked, spinning to the control panel. Lena Sparks, already on her tablet, shouted, "We've got company, looks like raiders." Before anyone could process it, the lab doors exploded inward, metal shards flying. A dozen figures stormed in space pirates, clad in patched armor and bristling with weapons. Leading them was Zaracade, a wiry woman with a scarred face and a plasma rifle bigger than her arm. "Nobody move," she snarled, leveling the gun at Marcus. "We're here for that suit. Hand it over, or this place turns into a scrap heap." Marcus froze, his mind racing. 3 years of work, and now this. "You're not taking it," he growled, stepping forward. Zara smirked. "Oh, I think we are. Move aside, or I start shooting." The team scrambled back, some ducking behind consoles, others too stunned to budge. Lena grabbed Marcus's arm. "Don't be stupid, we can't fight this." He shook her off, fury overriding sense. "I'm not letting them walk off with my project." Alex, still near the armor, watched the mess unfold like it was a bad movie. "You guys got terrible timing," he muttered, hands in his pockets. Zara's head snapped toward him. "Who's this clown?" she snapped, but before Marcus could answer, the armor hummed louder than ever. Its surface flared, light spilling across the room, and Alex felt a tug, like it was calling him. "Enough games!" Zara shouted, firing a warning shot that scorched the ceiling. The team yelped, ducking lower. Marcus lunged for the comms. "Security, get in here now!" But static crackled back. Comms were jammed. The pirates fanned out, weapons trained on everyone. Zara strode toward the armor, grinning. "Been tracking this thing for months. Worth a fortune on the black market." That's when Alex moved. Not thinking, just acting, he stepped in front of the armor, hands up. "Hey, hold up, let's not break anything we can't fix." Zara laughed, cold and sharp. "Out of my way, kid, or you're a smear on the floor." Marcus hissed from behind, "Get back, you idiot." But Alex didn't budge. The armor's hum spiked, and its light zeroed in on him, blindingly bright. "Last chance," Zara warned, finger on the trigger. Alex shrugged. "Your funeral." Before she could shoot, he reached out instinct, nothing more, and touched the armor. The room erupted. Light exploded from the suit, patterns racing like wildfire. It split open, then flowed around Alex like liquid metal, snapping into place over his body. In seconds, he was encased 10 feet of ancient tech, glowing and alive. "Holy crap," Lena whispered, jaw-dropping. Marcus stared, his anger morphing into shock. Zara blinked, then cursed. "What the open fire?" Her crew unleashed a barrage, plasma bolts, kinetic rounds, the works. But the armor didn't flinch. Shots bounced off, sparking harmlessly. Alex tilted his head, voice calm through the suit's speakers. "Pretty solid. Bet it's got a killer power core, though hope your grid can handle it." Zara's crew faltered, confusion spreading. Alex moved fast, too fast, and plucked the rifle from her hands like it was a toy. "Let me see that," he said, flipping it over. "Mark IV plasma? Man, these leak like crazy. Look at this coupling, total junk." He started dismantling it, pieces clattering to the floor, while Zara gaped, too stunned to react. Marcus snapped out of it, charging forward. "Give me that suit," he roared, grabbing at Alex's arm. The armor hummed, and Marcus stumbled back, shoved by an invisible pulse. "Hey, chill," Alex said, still fiddling with the rifle. "I'm just borrowing it." Lena yelled, "Marcus, stop, he's handling it." But Marcus wasn't listening. "It's mine. 3 years my work." He lunged again, only to bounce off another pulse, landing hard. Zara seized the moment, barking orders. "Take him down." Her crew regrouped, firing again. Alex sighed, tossing the broken rifle aside. "Fine, let's do this." The armor moved like it was part of him, fluid, effortless. He crossed the room in a blur, snagging weapons left and right. "This one's got a cracked cell," he muttered, tossing a pistol. "And this safety's busted. Who's maintaining your gear?" The pirates froze, half their arsenal gone, watching him lecture them mid-fight. Get him! Zara screamed, pulling a vibroblade. She swung, but Alex sidestepped, the armor amplifying his reflexes. He grabbed her wrist, twisting the blade free. Nice try, but your grip's off. Also, this thing's dull, sharpen it sometime. He flung it aside, then tapped her chest with a finger. A soft whump, and she flew back, crashing into her own crew. Marcus, back on his feet, wasn't done. You don't deserve that, he yelled, rushing Alex again. This time, he pulled a stun baton from a nearby tech, swinging wild. Alex ducked, exasperated. Dude, seriously? I'm busy here. The armor pulsed, and Marcus's baton fizzed out, dropping him to his knees. Lena ran over, dragging him back. Enough, Marcus. He's saving us. The pirates rallied for one last push, but Alex was done playing. He raised a hand, and the armor hummed a deep, bone-rattling sound. A gravity field kicked in, gentle but firm, lifting the whole crew off the floor. They floated, flailing, weapons drifting out of reach. Anyway, Alex said, turning to the pile of guns he'd collected, these need work. When's the last time you calibrated anything? Zara, dangling midair, spat curses. We're here to steal that thing, not get a damn lecture. Alex glanced up, unfazed. Yeah, I get that. But your gear's a mess, 40% efficiency, tops. Look at this power cell, total fire hazard. He held up a sparking core, shaking his head. The pirates stared, some looking more embarrassed than angry. Marcus, panting, glared from the sidelines. This is my project, he muttered, voice hoarse. Not his. Lena knelt beside him, furious. Your project's alive because of him. Deal with it. The team watched, stunned, as Alex disarmed an entire raid crew with a mix of ancient tech and shop talk. The armor's surface rippled, almost like it was laughing. Security's here, a tech called, as armed guards finally burst in too late. The pirates floated helplessly, their weapons in pieces. Alex turned to the guards, armor gleaming. Hey, watch the plasma lines when you cuff 'em, level 3's got shaky conduits. The guards nodded, baffled, hauling Zara's crew away. Marcus staggered up, fists clenched. This isn't over, he hissed, glaring at Alex. That suit's mine. Alex shrugged, the armor's glow softening. Whatever, man. Just don't blame me when your vents blow out. The room settled, but the tension didn't. Marcus's pride was in tatters, and Alex, still clueless about the stakes, had just turned the game upside down. The lab on Nimbus 7 was a wreck, scorched walls, scattered tools, and the faint hum of the armor still wrapped around Alex Chen. The pirates were gone, hauled off by security, but the air crackled with a new kind of chaos. Marcus Hold stood rigid, his face a mix of rage and disbelief, while Lena Sparks hovered near Alex, her tablet clutched tight. The team buzzed around, half cleaning, half gawking, as the armor's glow dimmed to a steady pulse. Then it spoke. Greetings, heirs of Project Curator, a voice boomed from the suit, clear and chipper, like a tech support guy on a good day. Genetic compatibility confirmed. This unit is pleased to serve. The room went dead silent, every jaw dropping. Lena's 4 eyes blinked fast. What the hell was that? Marcus snapped out of his daze, stepping forward. It's talking. What's Project Curator? The armor's surface rippled, patterns forming what looked like a grin. I am a Mark 9 custodian, created by the Curators, your makers. We seeded humanity across 1,000 worlds, cultivating traits for our legacy. You, Alex Chen, match the profile, curiosity, pragmatism, and a knack for fixing what's broken. Its tone was almost proud, like a coach hyping up a star player. Alex tilted his head, unfazed. Cool story. But your servos are rattling, want me to tweak 'em? The armor chuckled, a real, rolling laugh that made the team flinch. The engineering instinct endures. Yes, Adjust as you see fit. Marcus's voice cut in, sharp and shaky. Hold up. You're saying humans were engineered by some ancient aliens? That's insane. Not engineered, the armor corrected, still cheerful. Cultivated. Like a garden. We tested countless species too rigid, too reverent. Then we mixed curiosity with a dash of reckless know-how, and boom, humans. You're our jackpot, built to inherit our tech. Alex scratched his chin through the helmet. So I'm, what, a cosmic mechanic? Explains why I'm stuck fixing vents. Lena's eyes lit up, gears turning. That's why it rejected everyone else. It was waiting for a human. She spun to Marcus. This changes everything. But Marcus wasn't celebrating. His hands shook, his voice low and bitter. 3 years. Thousands of tests. And it picks him? Ain't nobody. He glared at Alex, who was poking at the armor's arm joints like it was a busted radiator. Marcus, this is huge, Lena pressed. It's not about us, it's about them. She nodded at Alex. Marcus laughed, a harsh, jagged sound. Huge? It's a slap in the face. I've bled for this, and he waltzes in and wins. He stormed to a console, slamming his fist down. I won't let it end like this. Lena frowned. What's that supposed to mean? Before she got an answer, alarms screeched again. Self-destruct sequence initiated, the station's voice blared. Evacuate immediately. Lena spun to Marcus, horrified. What did you do? He smirked, cold and unhinged. If I can't have it, no one will. I rigged the core 5 minutes till this place blows. The team panicked, scrambling for exits, but Marcus blocked the main door, stun baton crackling in his hand. You're nuts. Lena yelled, lunging at him. He swung, catching her arm, and she stumbled back, cursing. Alex stepped forward, armor humming. Dude, chill. You're gonna kill us all over this. Marcus's eyes were wild. You don't deserve it. It's mine, my legacy. He charged, baton sparking, aiming for Alex's chest. The armor reacted fast. A pulse shot out, knocking Marcus flat, the baton skittering away. Enough, Alex said, voice steady. You're done. But Marcus wasn't out. He rolled, grabbing a plasma cutter from the floor, and fired. The beam grazed Alex's shoulder, sizzling against the suit. Not yet, Marcus snarled, scrambling up. That's when the comms crackled. You idiots still alive. Zara Cade's voice cut through, sharp and pissed. We're back, blew your docking bay. Give us the suit, or we finish the job. Outside, pirate ships loomed, cannons hot. Lena clutched her arm, glaring at Marcus. Great job, genius, now we've got 2 messes. Alex sighed, armor glowing brighter. Okay, one thing at a time. He raised a hand, and the suit's gravity field kicked in again, pinning Marcus to the wall. Stay there. Then he turned to the comms. Zara, your guns suck, overheating already. Back off, or I'll scrap 'em for you. A pause, then her laugh hissed through. Try me, kid. The station shook. 3 minutes left on the countdown. Alex moved, fast and smooth, dragging Lena to the control hub. Can you stop it? He asked. She nodded, shaky. Maybe if Marcus didn't lock it. She dove into the system, fingers flying, while Alex faced the viewport. Pirate cannons fired, rocking the lab. He flicked a wrist, and the armor unleashed a particle shield, deflecting the blasts. Neat trick, he muttered. Bet it's hell on the power draw. Marcus strained against the gravity, spitting venom. You're nothing. A fluke. Alex ignored him, scanning the room. Lena, how's it going? She cursed. He's got a failsafe, need his override. Alex glanced at Marcus, pinned and fuming. Talk, or we're toast. Marcus grinned, manic. Go to hell. 2 minutes. The station groaned, lights flickering. Zara's voice crackled again. Last chance suit or scraps. Alex shook his head. Man, everyone's a pain today. He cranked the gravity field, slamming Marcus harder. Override. Now. Marcus choked, then spat out a code, X7K9. Lena punched it in, and the countdown froze 30 seconds to spare. The pirate barrage stopped, Zara's ship spilling back, outgunned. Lena slumped, panting. We're clear. Alex released Marcus, who crumpled, glaring. This isn't over, he rasped. Alex shrugged. Yeah, it is. You're out. The armor hummed, almost smug, as the team regrouped, shaken but alive. Lena stared at Alex, awe creeping in. You're at the Curator's pick. He grinned, casual as ever. Guess so. Still gotta fix those vents, though. Marcus seethed, beaten but unbroken, and the truth hung heavy. Alex had saved them, but the real fight was just starting. The lab on Nimbus 7 was a shell of itself, smoking consoles, cracked walls, and a tense silence settling over the team. Alex Chen stood in the armor, its glow fading to a soft shimmer, while Lena Sparks leaned against a table, catching her breath. Marcus Holt slumped in a corner, hands cuffed by security, his glare burning holes into Alex. The station was safe barely after the self-destruct scare and Zara Cade's retreat, but the air still buzzed with what just went down. Lena broke the quiet, her voice shaky but firm. So, that's it. The Curators made humans to take over their tech, and you're the guy. Alex shrugged, the armor clanking lightly. Guess so. Kinda weird, right? I just wanted to fix the vents. The suit's voice piped up, chipper as ever. Your practicality is precisely why you were chosen. No reverence, just results. It sounded proud, like a parent bragging about a kid's report card. Marcus laughed, a bitter, jagged sound. Results? He's a fluke and nobody who got lucky. Security hauled him up, but he kept ranting. 3 years, and it's him? I'll be damned if I let this stand. Lena snapped, you're done, Marcus. You nearly killed us all. Enjoy explaining that to the council. He smirked, cold and unhinged. You think they'll care? They'll bury this, and me with it. But I'm not the only one watching that suit. Alex tilted his head. What's that mean? Marcus didn't answer, just grinned as the guards dragged him out. Lena frowned, uneasy. He's bluffing, has to be. But doubt lingered, and the team swapped nervous looks. The armor hummed, cutting through the tension. Irrelevant. My purpose is fulfilled. Humanity's error is here. Shall we proceed with the inheritance protocols? Inheritance? Lena asked, perking up. You mean more tech? The armor's patterns swirled. Correct. Archives, weapons, ships scattered across the galaxy, waiting for calibration. I can guide you. The team buzzed, excitement overriding exhaustion. Lena grinned. This could rewrite everything: history, tech, all of it. Alex nodded, but his face was off, thoughtful, not thrilled. Hold up, he said, raising a hand. This stuff's cool, but it's heavy. You saw Marcus people lose it over power like this. Zara's out there, and who knows who else. Lena frowned. What are you saying? Alex stepped back, the armor's light dimming. I'm saying maybe it's too much. I didn't sign up to be some galactic hero, just wanted a steady gig. The armor's voice cut in, confused. You reject the legacy? This is your birthright. Alex shook his head. Not rejecting, just rethinking. Gimme a section. He tapped the suit's chest, and a holographic panel popped up, streams of code flashing. The team watched, baffled, as he dug into its systems like it was a busted thermostat. What are you doing? Lena asked, stepping closer. Fixing a loophole, Alex muttered, fingers flying. This thing's tied to me now, right? But it's got a self-destruct option deep in the code. I'm tweaking it. The armor sputtered. Self-destruct? That's not advised. Alex cut it off. Yeah, well, I'm advising it. No offense, but you're a magnet for trouble. Lena's eyes widened. Wait, you're gonna destroy it? Yep, Alex said, calm as ever. If I don't, someone else'll come for it. Marcus's buddies, pirates, whoever. I'd rather sleep at night. The team erupted. Some shouted no, others begged him to stop. Lena grabbed his arm. Alex, this is the find of the century. You can't just trash it. He looked at her, steady. I can. It's my call, right? You heard it, I'm the heir. The armor's voice crackled, almost sad. You're certain? This ends our mission. Alex nodded. Sorry, buddy. You're awesome, but the galaxy's messy enough. He hit a final command, and the suit whined a high-pitched keen that made everyone wince. Light flared, then collapsed inward. The armor shuddered, split, and crumbled into dust, leaving Alex in his greasy coveralls, hands in his pockets. The lab went quiet, the team staring at the pile of ash. Lena sank into a chair, stunned. You just threw it away. Why? Alex shrugged. Didn't feel right keeping it. Too many people kill for that kind of power. I'm not one of them. He grabbed his tool cart, heading for the door. Anyway, shift's over. See ya. Wait. Lena called, jumping up. You can't just walk off. You're the key to everything. Alex paused, glancing back. Nah, I'm just a guy who fixes stuff. You'll figure it out. He left, the door hissing shut behind him, leaving the team in stunned silence. Lena stared at the dust, muttering, he's insane. Or brilliant. Hours later, she sat alone in the lab, sifting through data. A faint beep caught her ear, a signal, buried in the station's logs. She pulled it up, a garbled pulse, coordinates blinking from deep space. More Curator tech, she whispered, pulse racing. He didn't kill it all. She grabbed her tablet, ready to call the team, when a shadow moved Alex, back with his cart. Forgot my wrench, he said, casual. Lena eyed him. You knew, didn't you? About the signal. He smirked, barely. Maybe. Doesn't mean I want it. She held up the screen. There's more out there, ships, weapons. You're still the key. Alex grabbed his wrench, turning away. Not my problem. Good luck, though. He walked off, disappearing down the corridor. Lena watched, torn between awe and frustration. The signal pulsed, a breadcrumb to a galaxy of secrets, but the one guy who could unlock it didn't care. She laughed, bitter. Typical human. Days later, Nimbus 7 hummed with rumors. The council locked Marcus up, citing treason, but whispers spread someone tipped Zara off, and Marcus had hinted at bigger players. Lena took over, chasing the signal, while Alex went back to vents and wires, dodging every question. The team hailed him a hero, he brushed it off. Then, out in the void, a new blip flared, a Curator beacon, waking up. No one saw Alex slip into a maintenance bay, pull a hidden chip from his cart, and crush it under his boot. The signal died, and he smiled, faint and final. Sorry, folks, he muttered. Gardens closed. He pushed his cart on, leaving the galaxy to wonder, oblivious that its last heir just shut the door for good. And there you have it, folks. Alex Chen, the guy who took a cosmic legacy and said, nah, I'm good. From pirates getting schooled to Marcus losing his mind, this story's got it all. HFY vibes, insane twists, and a human who'd rather fix vents than rule the galaxy. That ending, though. Him crushing that chip and walking away? Man, I didn't see that coming, did you? It's like humanity's biggest flex is knowing when to quit. What do you think? Should Alex have kept the armor, or was he right to ditch it? Drop your takes in the comments. I read every one, and I want to hear your theories, especially about what's still out there in Curator space. If you love this ride, hit that like button, it helps a ton, and subscribe to Sci-Fi Space if you haven't yet. Thanks for exploring the cosmos with me. See you in the next one, space travelers.